Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet and of YouTube. Welcome back to Final Fantasy Chronicles of Eno. I am your host and game master, as always, Skatarmas, otherwise known as Tone Shift. And with me today we have, of course, our full assortment of players. We have Hades Shadow 92 playing the star for this plot arc, our human Dark Knight, Thanatos.
I hate Kurzatan.
We all do. We have the lovely Luminous Starlight playing Rocket the Chocobo, our female cyborg warrior.
Biased.
Yes.
What?
I am biased. I am contractually obligated to be biased. You hush.
Okay.
This is how relationships work, dear. Next up, we have Alistair, played by Darkness.
I have no light. My light's just gone out.
And that is why you are darkness.
No, literally, my light's just went out.
Get some AA batteries, you'll be fine. And last, but most assuredly not least, we have Tom 117Z playing our female Elvon Ranger, Neathil.
Hello.
So,
My tears.
yep, where we last left off in our grand little story and adventure, the party had made their triumphant return to the city of Kurzatan, and after some planning and some deducing and figuring out, managed to track Saris Meal and another member of the Vinaldi crime organization to a warehouse utilized by the organization to eavesdrop on a discussion and attack the discussions in progress in order to gain information that should hopefully help in the location of the leader of the family, one Chakal. After winning the battle rather well, I might add, you handled yourselves very well in that fight, the party then proceeded to question the captives they had taken, namely a Pneumo Black Mage going by the name of Vorn Mole. Now, after some prolonged discussion, they learned that Vorn was a surprisingly honorable individual as far as crime families go, even to the point of being borderline kind towards his subordinates. And from him, they learned that his immediate superior and the second in command of the entire organization, Kelion Methastis, is much the same. A very honorable man who, according to Vorn, is one of the few reasons that Chakal's seeming childish nature has not led to the city being burnt to the ground in one of his, shall we say, fits. It is both of their firm beliefs that they are pretty much all that stands between Kurzatan and total annihilation from Chakal's mishandling of situations. The party has since taken it upon themselves to seek out and speak with Kelion in the hopes of maybe turning him to their side, getting him to aid them in bringing down Chakal so that he can inherit the leadership position and guide the city towards a brighter future. Vorn Mole, reluctantly, upon seeing the party's resolve and commitment and genuine pure intentions, elected to take them to Kelion so that they may plead their case with him and see if they can convince him. We last left off as the party was leaving the warehouse with Saris Meal, having been at last released from Thanatos' domination brand, and she and the two other thugs that Vorn had at his disposal in that warehouse fleeing the city outright.
Let's hope she actually does flee the city and doesn't do as stupid.
Also, before
If we run into her again and she causes trouble, I'm killing her.
Well, before we continue, just a bit of a heads up. If I completely vanish from it's because I'm having some technical issues with the power. It appears that all the lights have gone out in the house.
Huh.
Don't worry, we'll just kill Alistair off if you vanish, it's fine.
Okay, thanks for the heads
you
up.
You have been warned.
Okay.
This be continued.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up, buddy. All right, so, with that in mind, just as a heads up to the audience, between sessions, we had the party do some shopping to upgrade equipment and buy new items.
Indeed.
And so, from there, let's see, have I moved you all to the Kurzatan map? I have.
I see it.
So if that's the case, we'll plop you all right here is where you're wrapping up your shopping. And as you're getting your shit together and your new equipment fastened to your persons, Vorn nods and turns and continues to lead you along the streets deeper into the city.
I feel like the moment we all go, oh, hey, hold on a second, Warren, we need to do some shopping. He just turns slowly and kind of gives us this
You
very
what, mate?
serious look.
Are you guys serious right now?
He was kind of annoyed, but he elected not to question it.
Hmm.
He's like, fine, very well, do as you need.
Yeah, our paladin kept complaining and he wanted new armor, so we had to give him. Also, we gave him a new shiny shield, so he'll feel a little better.
Yeah, fun fact,
Excuse me.
Alistair has the highest defense out of anyone in the party right now.
Well, he also
Ooh.
has the most health. He's the meat shield.
It's a good thing too, since he goes poking bombs with sticks.
He got fortified on both his new armor and shield, which means both of their armor and magic armor values go up 25% from what they were initially.
It does
So-
make sense, since your most used abilities tend to be cover.
I'm about
I
to
am
say
a tank. I am a
I'm about to
tank.
say
and I'm smashing your face.
he has the most health, most armor, and he always puts himself in front of like Mika and Nee to take hits, so it makes sense.
Indeed.
Indeed, I
And
have
then there's
learned the
Rocket,
ways.
who, even if she does
Oh.
by some miracle get hit, she's got armor now.
Well, Mika's the squishiest. I'm the second squishiest.
Yeah.
Because I'm a ranged.
Mm.
Well, you're
Character.
not supposed to be up close. You're supposed to be far off, shooting people in the face.
Unless I want to stab them. Occasionally, she give me a shanking.
Up close is my shtick.
Anyway,
Now, children,
so
behave.
Vorn leads you along through the streets after you've finished your shopping for a little while. Across a few blocks before turning down this street here. Seems to be a relatively nicer neighborhood. And he comes to a stop in front of this building right here. One of the smaller ones on the block. And he gestures at it. It appears to be it's a two-story home, kind of a protruding front. Plenty of really nice windows. On the second floor, there is a balcony that kind of overlooks the street, and it has two support columns coming down that frame the front door and provide shade and shelter from any undesirable weather elements. Plenty of glass lanterns and whatnot are set up along the walls to provide illumination. And like all the buildings in the city, it's made of sandstone bricks and that kind of thing. So, very nice abode. The smallest on the block, but probably the nicest looking.
This is it.
He doesn't exactly want to draw too much attention to himself, you understand.
I
I figured-
kind of figured the second in command of the biggest crime family in Kurzatan would have like a big mansion with.
Say
Lots
that
of
again
cars.
slowly, Thanatos. Second command of crime family. You don't want to have a big sign saying, "Here, come stab me in the back while I sleep."
I mean, I guess, but this is not what I expected at all.
I think it looks quite quaint, to be honest.
Yeah, I
That's what's making me nervous.
think you'll find Kelion is full of surprises. Now, come on.
Well, if he's half the man you describe him to be, but that remains to be seen.
Vorn,
Do you want to do honors? This is your friend.
Vorn marches up to the door, pauses for a second, glances back at you, Alistair. Friend might be a bit of an understatement.
Don't mind him. He blurts out things without thinking.
After a moment, Vorn knocks on the door a few times. A few seconds pass, and the door opens up. And while you don't see the human male you were expecting, you do see a female Bonga standing there. She tilts her head. Vorn, what do you want? And who are they? She sort of glances back at the rest of you. Potential business partners. I'm to bring them to Kelion to have an audience. The Bonga tilts her head the other way. I was not made aware of this. You're his maid. You're not supposed to be made aware of very much, are you? She peels her lips back a bit to reveal her teeth. Mind it, Vorn. My apologies, that was out of line. Can we come in or not? She grumbles to herself before stepping to the side.
Very well, he's up in his office.
Vorn leads the way inside. You all follow after, and as you're sort of stepping in, the Bonga sort of gives you all a look and...
Behave yourselves.
Noted.
Have a word.
Don't make a mess, I just got done cleaning.
And then she sort of goes and shuffles off and disappears down a corridor.
Wow,
Rocket, no preening.
a charmer.
So, Kelion,
So the inside of this room is the front room. Very nice. It's actually has kind of a green motif. Like the floor and the walls are still sandstone, but there's some wallpaper that looks like it's been put up to try and make it look a bit nicer. Sort of abstract green patterns on the walls give it a sort of almost foresty look. What furniture there is in this front room is also very nice, high quality.
huh?
Well, at
For a
least the
moment-
inside is kind of fits the bill.
For a moment, you could almost forget you're in the bloody desert.
Oh, are you ever going to stop complaining about that?
No, I'm never gonna stop complaining about the desert because I hate the desert.
I want water. Mika
Well, I'm
complains.
sure when we get- Well, I'm sure when we get to Vitea, I'm going to complain all about trees just for you.
I'll hang you from one.
Vorn gives you all a sideways look.
You're a very interesting band. Now,
I mean-
come on.
You have
can tell.
no idea.
You can
Mm,
probably
I mean,
tell that just by looking at us.
I mean, the giant talking cyborg bird didn't give that away.
I do have a lot of questions about that, but they can wait.
Mm.
It's always rock. Why is it always rocket people stare at?
Because Chocobo don't usually talk.
Have some
Precisely.
self-awareness. Come on.
All right.
I mean, are you really asking that question, Ventus? Or are you
I mean,
just
with
being
everything-
sarcastic?
With everything in the world, especially out in that desert that's moving and living, you think a cyborg talking chocobo wouldn't be that weird.
Alright, it's besides the point. Kevin, track, keep.
Mhm.
Yep. Vorn sort of gestures at a staircase in the back that leads up.
Kellyan's office is upstairs. Follow me.
He leads you up. You come into a narrow hallway with 2 doors on either side and one last door at the end. That door at the end looks a little bit nicer than the others. Vorn marches up, knocks a few times, and then clears his throat.
Kelion, it's me. May I enter?
This refined, gentlemanly voice from the other side answers, "Come in, Vorn." Vorn opens up the door and steps inside and gestures for all of you to follow.
I just that voice just makes a shivers go down my spine right now.
So,
It's like that's too gentlemanly.
See.
Remember, civilize.
So you step inside, and as you do, you see it's a very nice, kind of compressed but orderly office space. There's a bookcase along the right wall from you, loaded with tomes. There's a very nice wooden desk, polished and shimmering in the very center, and there's a lovely green rug sprawled out on the floor that's really soft under your boots. You also see on the desk there's a pitcher that you can only assume is full of wine, given the glass with wine in it next to it, along with various papers and what appears to be ledgers scattered across the surface. You see a few sort of elegant swords in their scabbards hung up on the wall behind the chair, and sitting in the chair you see human male, black hair, well combed, has kind of a weird look, well, not weird looking, but kind of short and very well maintained mustache and beard, kind of pointed. He's dressed in some fine looking red clothes, looks up as you enter, raises an eyebrow.
Oh, I was not aware you were bringing guests. To be honest, until a few minutes ago, neither was I.
Well then, the man stands up, gives a small bow of his head. I am Kelion Mathastus, and who might you be?
Greetings, Kelion. I'm Alasaya. This is Nee, Vanatos, and Wocket over here.
Hello.
And Mika, of course, as well.
Don't forget the Mika. We, all due respect, need to talk.
What about, pray tell?
It's very important. It's about
Jakal?
Kellion's face suddenly hardens up and he gives Vorn a look.
Way to jump right into the gun there, Nee.
There's no point circling around it like you would do.
Is that so?
So I'm going to be a bit... Yeah.
Vorn, do you mind getting the door, please? I would like some privacy for this. Vorn nods, heads over, closes the door. And Kelion sits back down.
So, you're the fabled Kelion, second in command of the Vinaldi. So we hear. Place early fits the bill, even if it's still more quaint on the outside than it is on the inside.
Well, you certainly heard correctly. The question then becomes, what is it to you?
You don't really strike me as a typical Vinaldi guy.
It's because I'm not, and that's a good thing. If Vorn brought you here, then that implies that he has at least a measure of trust in you. Although, he looks between you all and raises an eyebrow. Judging by how roughed up you all look, I'm assuming there was a fight.
Well, there was some misunderstanding.
He glances over at Vorn. They kicked my ass. Ah.
I thought Vaughn just left.
No, he's still there.
He just shut the door.
He closed the door, but he's still in the room. He's standing as witness.
Which we are sorry for that.
Well,
Just had
that
the
remains to be
impression,
seen.
That's all.
To be fair, no one died, so...
True.
So, Kelion, you're second in command. I'm somewhat surprised you don't know exactly who we are, considering that we've had some run-ins with your group recently.
Ah, yes. Now it makes sense. You're the troublemakers that have been going around, as others have so adequately described it.
Yeah, your friend Saris helped us find Vorn here. She was helpful.
Let's not get into that. We still have issues with. The reason we're here is because we understand that, well, to put things simply, you're all that stands between Jakal and burning the city to the ground in a mad criminalistic stupor.
A bit of a fanciful flourish on the situation, but not terribly far off, I suppose.
What's the deal with that, exactly?
For the last generation or so, my family has been sworn to serve the Vinaldi family in whatever extent is required of us. The oath was...
Why?
Well, it is an oath my grandfather swore when the Vinaldi saved him from certain death. Swore a life debt, and it has since been passed from father to son.
This extends out generations. What were the Vinaldis like back then?
Well, as I am given to understand it, the massive crime ring that they are now didn't quite spring up until early in my father's days. Back then, they were... I'm honestly not sure. I could not tell you whether or not they were good people or bad, if they were criminals or not. All I know for sure is what they are now, and my role in their organization. He reaches over, picks up his pitcher of wine, gestures. Wine? Anyone? I get the feeling we're going to be here a while.
No, thanks.
No thanks. Drinking on the job, technically, we're working. Even though I'm on leave, technically, but...
I'll be
Forgive
keeping
me
my
if I
senses
find
intact.
Forgive me if I find a gift like that a little uneasy.
Suit yourself.
Makes me a little
He pours himself a little bit, and then immediately takes a healthy swig before setting the glass back down and giving you all a smile. So then, you have come to speak with me?
You have questions, I'm assuming, but I get the feeling there's more here than just interrogation in mind.
Here's a question. In a non-professional sense, what is your opinion of Jakal?
I'm always professional. But, to answer your question as to my opinion of him, he is my employer.
You know what I mean.
I do
As
know
a
what you mean.
person, as an individual, his state of mind, his capabilities.
He is... Well, before I answer that question, I have one of my own. What is
All right.
what is your stake in all of this? What is your interest in him? Why are you here?
It depends on which of us you ask.
I would like to speak, but yeah. Well, you see, the reason why we are here, we are believing that loads of people are suffering through his way of leadership, and we wish not to let anyone else suffer, especially a good friend of mine here. So we wish to, replace him with someone else, someone such as yourself which I believe would be a better option to take care of this place.
Kurzatan is in a state, as I'm sure you've noticed in your time of living here.
And I
falling
understand that you
apart.
have your family's reputation and also honorable motivations and all that to them. And that is good nobleship, but you have to understand what what he's doing is not that great. It's terrible.
Of course I understand that. I
And
assume... But you need to understand yourself that it is my misgivings with Chakal's conduct and my high rank that plays a large part in keeping this city on its feet.
And you are doing a pretty good job, I must say, but what would happen if something happens to you? What if he turns on you, or, there's no one else to stop him as well as you?
I do not see that happening.
You can't tell the future.
Humorous.
I cannot
But
tell
more-
the future, but I can say with certainty that I know Chakal's mind.
And
And while he is reckless, short-sighted, and foolhardy, he does trust me, and so I do not see it as a likely event that he'll turn on me for any foreseeable reason, and even if he does, I don't see it ending well.
Just humorous. Say you weren't here. What would happen to Kurzatan?
Well, without my capacity to organize and unite, Chakal would probably tear his own organization to tatters. What is currently a large criminal organization would become countless smaller ones, all squabbling for control over the streets. The subtlety that is currently employed would cease to exist, murders would run rampant, as would arson and thievery. We're looking at riots, the city watch. What few good people there are in it would be hard-pressed to do anything more than look on in terror as their city practically tears itself apart at the seams.
it's getting that way now. Again, look out. Just look out the window and you can see buildings crumbling, people scrambling, barely to survive. People serving under him live in shanties, and he's making deals that are, frankly, not helping the world much. How much do you know of his little arrangement with Devia Corp and what happened to that?
I played a large part in the negotiations for that arrangement.
Then are you aware that the Devia Corp was under the thrall of an amber-wielding demonic fucktard called Murasan?
Okay, first of all, language.
Apologies, it's been a...
She's had a bad day. A really bad.
If you run a crime syndicate and you're getting to us about language,
Just because I'm a criminal does not mean I am deprived of manners.
Well, it's been a very tough forever. So,
Well, in answer to your question, I was not aware of amber influences. All I've truly known is that some weeks past, we lost contact with Devia Corp, and the deal was presumed to be off until such time as communications were reestablished.
Yeah, so sorry about that.
Devia Corp's amber-filled hole now.
I expect
The person.
The bird speaks.
Yeah, I speak. Anyway, the person that they were arranging stuff with to advance their technology is actually really evil. He blew it sky high and turned all the employees that we tried to get to escape into monsters that the airship crew had to kill because they were attacking his monster, you know.
An interesting story, albeit one that at present cannot be verified.
Just search around the kingdom, around what used to be Devia Corp, and you'd verify it easily. We've left enough of a paper trail.
Okay, putting Devia Corp and your obviously well thought out deal with them aside, back to the matter at hand.
Yes, please.
Kurzatan. Humor us for a second and say Chakal disappeared. What would happen?
Well, most likely scenario would probably be, at least for a limited time, not unlike what I described if I were to leave the picture. Without the leader of the organization, several of his lower troops would attempt to make power grabs. It would be a similar situation, and until such time as one of them was able to secure a hold, it would be a very unpleasant event. But once someone was able to secure a hold, well, it would all depend on who managed to attain that leadership position, who could amass the respect, and who could earn the loyalty of the others, be it through fear or anything else.
And
What if
Like
someone was able to...
like you
One at a time, please!
sorry.
say someone like you?
Yeah.
Me.
I mean, think of it like this. If you had the chance to make this place better for everyone and help those in need, would you do it?
I suppose I could.
Because you're keeping the Vinaldi family in check, that much is clear. You're curtailing Jakal's whatever it is that is wrong with him, but it's only working so far. It's still violent, murder. Everything is slowly decaying from the inside out. You must have seen that, at least the signs of it.
I have. I'm not blind, Miss Athil.
When we came here, we were pretty much under the impression that decay was all throughout the organization. We hadn't exactly intended to talk to you like we're doing now. But Vaughn here convinced us that you're not like Jakal, that you're different, that you actually have some measure of honor and give a damn.
I am at
And
the end of
compassion.
I am at the end of the day a man of my word. If I make an oath, I keep it. If I have an obligation, I do everything in my power to see it through. I believe in honor even among thieves.
Jakal doesn't have much honor left in him. I don't know what his ancestors were like for Vinaldi before this all went so wrong. But I have a feeling they weren't like him.
His father was certainly more level-headed. But in the environment that Chakal grew up in, it was an odd mixture of paranoia and being spoiled rotten.
Typical.
It left a distinct mark. Shaped him into what he is now.
And how long until that kind of attitude, that direction, runs Kurzatan into the ground? Well, it's ground left to run into.
I wish I had an answer for that.
But we could stop it. That's why we're talking to you now. There's a chance to save Kurzatan if we play this well. To save
Indeed.
even the Vinaldi, to make something better out of it that's not going to result in mutually assured destruction and misery and death for everyone involved. And enough of that.
Well, then what do you propose?
You, from all the impression we seem to get, seem to be the most honourable, level-headed, and high-ranking Vinaldi left in this entire organisation. If you could gain the loyalty and respect of the men, and if you were to head this organisation, could you not make it something better? Could you not steer it into something that's less likely to self-destruct within a few years? And take everyone with it?
As a purely hypothetical,
Of course.
it's not impossible. But there are a lot of factors that need to be considered. More than just the common citizens of the city, there are also, of course, the various individuals with their own lower ranks among the organization, and of course the more recent deserters who have tried to strike out on their own or make power grabs in the vacuums you all left up north.
So, hypothetically, if such a thing were to occur, how would it need to occur?
With a lot of time and a very damn good plan. This is far from a simple situation. You need to know that.
Nothing's been simple since we crashed on the beaches of Morasso.
You were involved in that mess.
Oh yeah, got
We
caught in the
cleaned it
middle.
up.
Got caught in the middle of an infestation. Killed the leader. Killed an amber demon.
Well, he takes his glass and lifts it up to as if to toast. Consider me honored to be in your presence, then. I'd heard of that disaster up in that city. Now I know I stand in the midst of those who saved it. Takes another sip, sets the glass down.
Thank you.
If you doubt anything we do say, just remember what I said earlier. We left quite the paper trail. It's rather easy to verify.
So
And
let
I
us dispense with the hypotheticals then, because I have a feeling I know exactly what it is you're asking of me, but I would hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
We're gonna kill Chakal.
Unless there's a better way.
And we're hoping that you can take over and make this organization somewhat decent.
I know it's much we're asking, but you are probably the last hope this whole entire place may have. And you
we
have
want-
my word. We will never leave these people to suffer anymore.
We want something to be left for them. Something brighter when we're done.
To show them that there is hope left in this world.
I do need to make it perfectly clear. Now that you have made that intention expressly clear to me, I am honor bound to try and stop you with every fiber of my being.
But why?
Unless-
I also have a warning for you.
Huh?
That man that I was talking about, the one that blew the whole thing sky high, he wears this robe, this hooded robe, and he is a Mikote, right?
Mithra. In
Mithra.
the setting.
Mithra. He is a Mithra. Watch out for him because he is extremely powerful and deadly.
And the road
Whatever
is
he
dark blue.
does, whatever he was planning, don't get involved with him. Not if you value your life.
or everyone else is here.
I will
If
keep
he's
that
capable-
in mind.
Or anyone else in the city.
I will keep that in mind. Now, Thanatos, was it?
Yeah.
You asked me why.
Why do you honor bound? I can understand, but honor can only go so far. Everybody in the city is suffering because of him. People die, families burn.
Honor bound only goes so far until it's become dishonorable.
How honorable is it to work for a guy who kills what he pleases, takes what he wants, and has rotted this entire city?
I will
Not
not
to me.
lie that my family's service to the Vinaldis has become a permanent black mark on our record. But
Then
I pose to you the
help us
counter.
clean it.
You can have a clean slate. You don't have.
Let me
family
ask
will
you
no
a very
longer
simple
cause you-
question, all of you. Is it honorable to lie? Is it honorable to break a promise?
I would say it depends on whether you're doing it for the reasons that could be justifiably and morally seen as right. Are you lying to simply get your own way, or are you lying to protect? Are you breaking a promise for the good of the many, or are you breaking a promise for your own selfish gains?
You need to understand that what you are asking of me is, in its own way, should I agree, an inherently selfish task.
If you're doing it for your own gain, for your own power, because you want to be in control, is that why you're doing it? Or would you be doing it because you want to actually make this city a better place, to give it a future? What are your reasons behind what you do?
I was
That is all the
taught
difference.
from a very early age that integrity is one of the very few things that can define a man's worth. If you cannot hold true to your word, then how can anyone else be expected to trust you? How can anyone be expected to understand you? I swore an oath at a very young age, and I have upheld it all this time. If I were to turn my back on that now, what would that say of me? What would that say of my line, of what I was taught, what I believe?
Your line started with your grandfather. This whole honor-bound thing started with him, right?
Yes.
Then your father took it after he died, and then you, etc., right?
Yes.
That
So-
you're brave enough to do the right thing.
What does it say about your integrity if you're so focused, tunnel-visioned on an oath made by dead men that you're willing to watch the world burn?
Make no mistake, I'm not willing to watch this city burn. That's why I've done everything in my power to prevent that from where I stand.
And I
It's
respect
not
that.
enough.
There's only so far you can go before you're complicit in the destruction of everything and everyone. Loved ones, children. This Jakal isn't doing one any favors. And I'm not sure he's exactly got one to talk about integrity. He's not the person who saved your family back then. I don't think he has that much in him.
I can tell that we could go back and forth on this matter all day and make no progress.
Nothing simple in this city. Yes, it's grey. Yes, there are different views and arguments to be made about honor. But at the end of the day, there's one simple question. Does this city have a future under Jakal or not?
At the end of the day, my capacity to keep my word is the one thing I have that sets me apart from the beasts I am surrounded by on a daily basis. I've been forced to do terrible things in my work here. The only thing that keeps me from being just as bad as them is my capacity to keep my word and keep Chakal in check.
And I understand that. But at what point, when keeping your word is one thing, but at what point when at enabling the East Beast do you unknowingly become the Beast?
Vorn immediately sort of stands upright. Kelion leans up a bit. Tell me this. From what you have seen of them, do you trust in their integrity? I've only seen so much, but they seem pure of intent.
We may not always succeed in getting things right, but we never stop trying. That's what it means to try and be good, even if you're not always successful.
That is the truth of it. That is the truth of it, isn't it? Good people mean well, just don't always end up doing well.
You can only try.
Only try. And so, he finishes off his wine and stands up. I have a proposal then. I will not go back on my word to Chakal, but if it is indeed your intention to bring him down, there is a way that could be done without me breaking my word. And it will provide me an ample opportunity to test your resolve against your well-spoken arguments.
Alright, how about we make a plan where you don't need to act against Chakal yourself, but you can working on gaining the loyalty and respect of those you would need if you were to gain charge of this place.
Leave me to think on that.
And in the meantime, if we were to bring Chakal down and leave the gap for you to step in.
He steps around the desk a little bit, sort of putting his hands behind his back and stands upright. My proposal is as follows. Given that I am bound to do everything in my power to stop you, I say we retire to my basement, where I have a large training arena. There, I shall engage you all in combat. Should you prove victorious, I will grant you permission to rifle through any of my possessions you wish in your hunt for information as to where to find him. However, do know that should I defeat you, I will be striking to kill. Do we have an agreement?
This is certainly as extreme as compromises can go.
I need to ensure that if you are indeed to go through with this plan, that you have the strength to see it through. And I need to ensure that I do as well.
Very well.
Gone this far, all for what you went through. Are you convinced?
You're certainly not what I expected of anybody in the Vinaldi. At least none that didn't have a knife stuck in their back all the time.
You would be surprised how often I get that.
An entire arena below ground? Wow.
But
It's a dojo inspired by the such places as Vatea.
Oh!
Amazing.
But from what I've heard from Vorn and what I've heard now, you seem... I'm convinced you seem, at least partially, what this city needs. But before we go underground and duke it out, I'd like you to know one thing.
Very well.
A question first. Do you recall a family a couple decades back? The father owed Chakal quite the sum and was quite late on his payment. Then thugs came and burned his house to the ground, his wife and child along with it.
I have memory of this. I was young myself at the time. Why?
I want you to know my stake in this. I'm from Kurzitan.
You have my condolences.
And not all of that family died in that fire.
I surmised as such. Well then, shall
I
we?
want more desperately for you to be what the city really needs. But understand this. Whether or not this goes through, Chakal dies.
Very well then.
Let's go.
Yes. That's... Then, Kelion turns over to Vorn. I would have you gather everyone else in the building and bring them down as well to stand witness. I want the truth of the matter to be known one way or the other when all is said and done. Vorn nods and steps out.
I look forward to seeing your skills and how you stand up compared to Alpha Demon.
Yeah, they say you fight like quite the gentleman.
I do fight like a gentleman, yes, but he sort of gets a sort of coy look on his face. A gentleman is more than capable of fighting rough.
Well, let's hope we win so that we can argue the finer points of honesty, morality, and honor another time.
Follow me, then.
If I should fall, at least it will be an honourable opponent such as yourself.
Oh, don't you about it, you'll be fine.
He turns and steps out through the door after Vorn and glances back at the rest of you. By the way, a question. Are any of you familiar with Fane Pharaoh?
Yes.
Why?
Ah. She's been staying here for the last few days. I was tasked with keeping an eye on her. So she will be watching. Wondrous.
And she's
Oh.
fine.
I don't harm guests in my home. She is fine.
Thank you.
And he leads the way back down the stairs, and as you're coming out into the central room, the Bonga maid from before, Vorn, and Fane are all standing there. And Fane she has a sort of uneasy look on her face, and then she sees all of you, her eyes fly wide open. What the...
We're about to have a bit of a duel. If we win, some good things might happen. If we lose, bad things will probably happen.
I know we're meant to win this, but don't go too hard on him.
Well, we won't kill him, just rough him up so he can't continue. That's the point.
Damn it, I should have invested in sleep spells.
All right.
That's black magic, so you couldn't do that.
Also, that's Mika's specialty, these spells.
All right, so you all follow Kelion down into the basement, another flight of stairs opposite of the ones that went up, and he leads you down a corridor and through a door and into a large room that you definitely recognize the general layout as being much like the training dojos back in Vatea. Albeit made of sandstone instead of the typical wood and like layers upon layers of heavily reinforced paper that you'd find out in the countryside, or the grey stones.
When Nee steps inside, she kind of gets a nostalgic look on her face and goes, "Oh, Rani kicked my ass so many times in here."
All right.
Fond memories.
Well, at least we know we're well grounded.
All right, so I was a dumbass and never actually got a Fane Pharaoh icon, so I am going to have to draw her in here just as a circle with a...
He looks like he'd be played by Adam Driver.
Yeah. I also noticed the counter thing is still on knee. There's at 0.
What?
And the health is still low.
Yeah, because you guys
yeah.
didn't stop to rest on the way.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's still
Um,
4. Wasn't that for, like, that passive ability? What was it,
That was for her being blind.
Yeah. Thought that would've been gone
Before we begin combat, can I chug potions and shit?
If you want.
by
All right,
now.
so
Give us a moment to get ready.
Yep.
Heal up.
I've got 2 high potions, 2 high ethers. Both of those restore half of my HP, right?
So,
Yep.
Just taking 1 ether, 1 potion.
I'm good.
Let's see here. So,
Best not to waste a good potion, I say.
Okay.
You should ask Kelion if he's heard of water.
No.
Ask him yourself. You're there.
See, I would really like. He's like, "Hey, Kenny, want some water before we start?" Okay, glug glug. Bump. We win.
Hey, Kelion, have you heard of water?
He looks up as he's sort of taking out his saber and sort of looking it over. He says, "Oh yes, I've heard of it. Potent stuff."
Tell me
You should've
about
seen-
it.
You should have seen him when he
Yeah.
got drunk on it.
Oh, you've all had the stuff, haven't you?
Me and
but-
yeah.
Oh, that is an experience I will have to inquire about when all is said and done, assuming you live through the next 10 minutes.
I mean, it was mostly a drop and then out, and it was the next morning.
Mm.
So.
I felt wonderful, and then I felt terrible. That's all I remember.
Oh, Lord. Well then.
Mika is chugging a high ether.
I
Me?
would hope so.
Are you getting healed?
Only if anyone just has a normal potion, I'd chug that, but nothing.
I
else.
have them.
Mika has
I'll
a,
have-
Mika has a spare normal potion she can lend you.
All right, I'll grab that and then just one spare normal potion.
I have 4 of the bloody things.
Alright.
Regular potion.
All right.
Lovely. So, we should all be good now.
So preparations are complete.
Do 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 do.
Very well then. Tom, stop that.
Just reminding the music.
All right, so stop it, all of you. God damn it, I have my own music.
Let the battle begin.
All right, Kelion then turns and points his blade in your direction and lifts up his other hand behind him a bit and says, "Well then, on guard." And
May the best.
combat begins.
May the best group win. Thanatos, honor's yours.
Yep, the first hit is yours, Vanitas.
Very well.
You got like the perfect music to start this fight with. And the playlist.
Fury help you.
Alright.
Another
No,
bunch of
don't.
dialogue I'm gonna have to clean up because that was messy.
Mm-hmm. It sounded like you're drunk. Please say you didn't take a sip before the fight. We
Moving
need-
up.
need
Moving
you
up,
full.
I am going to give him a little dark side action with my sword. But first things first, I
Going
must.
straight in now.
Non-leaf.
It's a duel, why not? Let's see here. +3.
I'm slightly surprised that he was all fine for a 5 against 1.
Although I must ask.
Here, an 8 to
what's
hit,
the-
Please
Mm.
tell me that hits.
and you were using dark side, yes?
I missed, and
I'm just checking because I need to make sure if you're using dark side that I subtract your HP.
yeah.
All right, so yeah, that does not hit, unfortunately.
Are you?
You come
he's
in,
got-
you come in bursting with dark energy. Kellion's eyes widen for a sec, but he reacts quickly. He brings the saber up and catches your strike. There's a clash of light, sparks fly. He looks at the shadows around. He's like, "Oh, that's alarming," and shoves you back.
It's gonna be hard to hit. That's gonna be his gimmick. It's gonna be hard to hit because he's refined and a duelist. Nimble.
Fuck.
Well, I'm gonna give it a go of.
I forgot
I'm
to
go-
ask for this duel. Were we allowed to use our magic and all that and
You
abilities?
use whatever you have at your disposal because he is cutting to kill.
Anyway, I am
Oh,
going
shit.
to make an attempt to use disabling shot
Okay.
to
Lower his avoidance?
I can either go for an extra critical hit, reduce his accuracy or avoidance, or I can have him drop his weapon.
Well, he can pick it back up, so how about lower avoidance?
Yeah, I'll lower his
So it's
avoidance.
easier to hit.
And does this
Well,
count
you
as a
gotta-
boss
well,
fight?
First, you gotta hit him.
Hit him,
knee.
I'm
Does
doing it.
Does this count as a boss fight?
Yes, this is
Yes.
a boss.
This is
Bugger.
most certainly a boss.
The
I mean,
scan-
did the literal boss arena give that away?
Oh my god.
I had to be sure. That goes away with the scan, then damn. No.
That just misses. I'm sorry.
So it's 10. 10.
As he gets done shoving back Thanatos, he sees the crossbow coming in quickly, brings his blade up and knocks it off to the side. It just scrapes by, just slipping right by his
Alistair, Darkness, how much destiny do you have?
I have 6 destiny, so I was thinking we could amp ourselves up next time.
Yes, do it.
Beginning of next round.
Yeah,
Beginning of next
beginning
round.
next round, I said.
This
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
scales, though.
Well,
Considering my dark side fucked up.
I was gonna do that, but then again,
And again, what?
it might get a bit windy down here if I do that.
Let's see, heal first, then you can try to be.
I mean, how much
useful
MP
otherwise.
are you on? I can't see because the freaking title's in the way.
He's
I
at
lost
29
25% of my health because of that.
Yeah, he's, he's at 29 MP, by the way, but his HP is at 160 something.
Why the hell are you asking about my MP?
I was asking the HP.
No,
But
his
anyway.
HP is at MP.
Now, heal me.
But wind.
But wind!
I will come back there and wind
Break.
you. Now,
Break wind later, heal.
Fine. Spoiled.
you are the
Dark
healer
Knight.
/ meat shield. That is what you are.
Whatever you say, old spoiled Dark Knight.
Alright, Hades, you're up to 200 HP from that.
Eka.
And I'm running over here and also gonna cover Mika. Actually, no, cover knee and put the thing on Mika, the
Astro.
Astra.
Actually, I
Sorry, Thanatos, these two need the shielding.
was
Well,
about to say, are you sure about that? Because he's right in front of the melee boss.
And he's too far to cover me anyway.
Yeah. And what is Rocket
Mhm.
doing?
I guess Rocket could charge, but she wouldn't be able to get very far.
You can
You could get in there.
just barely out of melee range. Well, you'll be in better position to come help me next turn.
Yeah.
Alright, and that just leaves Mika.
Eka.
Here, I am going to
Wait,
have...
this is a battle arena. What am I doing? I should be in
Sounded
the
like you were gonna say Pikachu, but Mika instead.
She is a Mikachu.
No.
No.
I've already seen Sonichu memes this week. Let's see here. Okay,
Mika me.
Cover.
so Mika is going to expend 20 MP for Blizzara.
Yay! Because we know magic always hits.
Indeed. That will be power times 5 plus 2d6 ice damage.
I tell you what, in Final Fantasy 3, I've just kind of started relying on magic because it's just better than melee in most occasions.
Well, when going up against an opponent like this, who's got an avoidance of 10,
Well, it's like, because in Final Fantasy
Oh.
3, against most enemies, melee will do like 20 damage. Like, even when you got good swords against them, if it's like elemental, maybe it will double it. But you do magic, it'll do like 100 damage. It's magic.
Alright, so that is 48 damage in total when taking his magic armor into account. So,
okay, so he didn't have much magic armor. That's great.
So Mika kind of comes to a sliding halt. You'll lifts up her sword, and Kelly looks down just in time for a bunch of small shards of ice to come spearing up out of the ground underneath him, creating a series of gashes all along him. He's quick to sort of spin off to one side a little bit, though. Fun. Magic.
Hmm.
And now...
I just realised something.
Yes?
I don't see Thanatos' name.
I see it just fine.
I don't know why. I see
I
everyone
see-
else's, but not his.
I don't
Oh,
see
there you
Alice's either, but
I can
wasn't
see
really
it.
done with
All right.
It's fine.
So,
We know who we know who everybody is.
All right. So,
Who are you again?
I'm the edgy guy who always fucks up on his dark side attacks.
it was one time. You hush. All right.
Yeah, you're learning.
So, Kelion is going to lift up his blade and come forward with a series of flourishing strikes.
Oh,
Let's see.
On me,
On you,
guessing.
yes.
hang on, he's rolling.
Yeah, that hits me.
All right. I also need you.
Well,
I also
shit.
need you to make an opposed force check, but I need you to take 2 off of your final number.
What?
Sorry.
So I just add a -2.
Yeah, to subtract 2 from your roll.
Fuck.
Shit.
Fuck.
Well then. So now I need to roll his damage. What's your armor?
20.
Hmm.
Yeah, this fight is going great.
It just started. It's
Oh shit.
All right. So here's what happens. Thanatos, after he knocked you back and danced out of the way of, or sort of danced out of the rising spire of ice, looking a little scraped, like, he comes in with a series of quick strikes and cuts, and you block a few of them, but several manage to slip by your defenses and putting small cuts and little slices along you. And then as you get moving in to block the next one, his blade actually gets into the handguard of the Vermilion Edge, and with a quick flick, he tears it out of your grip, and your weapon lands over here, and you are disarmed.
Oh
What?
shit.
Andy, having that.
That's what the force check was for,
Thanatos!
if you could keep a hand on your weapon. Back to the
Thanatos,
party.
one and grab. I'm gonna amp everyone.
Yes. I am going to run
I
over
use
here
3
and
of my
pick up-
destiny points
and
for
pick
my
up,
limit break.
Vermilion Edge.
Yep, okay, that's your turn. Thanatos or Alistair is using his limit break.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let me double check what that does. Really cool.
I believe it gives one a +1.
I believe it gives everybody +1 to their.
Alistair and
Damn.
all of his allies within range of this limit break upon the time of its casting get increased damage and healing steps relying on power by 1 step until the end of the in-game day. Additionally, everyone affected by this limit break gains a +1 to their accuracy and avoidance until the end of Alistair's next turn. So everyone who deals
yeah.
damage using power will get to increase that value by another multiplier.
And also for healing.
And for healing, yes.
Meanwhile, I get to do it from Dex, but I now do a +5 to hit rather than a +4, so
At least until next turn. So
that's...
Is it win
Well-
time?
is it wind
I'm
time?
going...
Do you want it to be wind time?
It might shake up the place, but yes.
Alright, you're casting Aurora, right?
Yes.
Alright, what is your
Oh.
usual power?
My original power is 6, but it'd be 7 if I'm correct.
That's not how that works. That's not how that works.
Bugger. It doesn't get it.
No, how it works is the damage steps increase. So while it would normally be 6 times 5, it would now become 6 times 6.
Hmm.
So that'll be
Wait.
Sweet.
yeah.
Wait,
Oh
he has
boy,
Aurora?
that's brilliant.
When did he get Aurora?
last level up.
Mm-hmm. Aurora, motherfucker.
And how many MP does that cost?
It
A lot.
costs
Fat
30,
footy.
30, yeah.
30!
Intermediate level spell that costs a lot of MP.
Yeah, you're not doing that again.
Oh no, I'm just doing it once, see if it was effective.
Yay.
So, 6 times 6, did you say?
6
Plus
times 6
2d6.
plus 2d6, yes.
So it's 2d6 plus 36.
Okay, doing that. And le wall. 41.
Alright, so that'll be 36 damage in total when his magic armor is taken into account. Alright, Alistair, you kind of lift up your staff, channeling this spell for the first time. The gem emblazoned into the top suddenly pulses with light and rippling out is this intense, like, ball of visually rippling air that tears outwards. Kelion looks up as it's coming up after Thanatos was sent running and sort of lifts up to sort of try and catch it, but it blasts into him and he goes skidding back several feet from it. Ugh. Well then.
What's my range from currently? So
I thought it'd be the second time. Didn't use it on the behemoth as well. It failed. Yeah.
I'm gonna move slightly more into range, and then I'm going to try and shoot him.
Alrighty.
Can't do the same big shot again, sadly, but anyway.
Oh shit! Is Rocket still in range and no not?
I hit him this time.
You did.
Most definitely did.
So 2d6 plus, so 14, 28, 42. Yeah.
Oh, Fury, she's in range.
She
She's
can
good.
absolutely get in range for melee attacks if she so wishes.
I just did the measurements.
Alright. So that's 37 damage to him.
So he has an armor of 10. Okay.
Knee, you lift up your crossbow after shuffling into position, and it kind of pierces and sort of like scrapes against his side. He's like, ugh! There's a small squirt of blood. He pulls his hand away. Well shot.
Thank you.
Let's see here. Let's see here. Rocket, how much MP do you have? Or not MP, Destiny?
A shit ton.
Yeah, I have a lot. Let's see here. 19.
19. Okay.
Jesus.
Alright. Just checking because it's been a while since we've seen your tier 2 limit break.
Indeed.
Oh boy.
Why is his icon outside the ring now?
It's not
Because he got blown out.
it's not outside the room. The green there is
Ah.
is the battle mat. He's on the wooden floor now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because of Mr. Blowhard back there.
Well, at least I hit him.
Yeah, you did.
Hush.
Hush, Dark Knight. Hush.
Yeah, Rocket, do you want to use your tier 2 limit break to attack this guy or no?
Do it.
I mean, okay.
Alright.
How many destiny points do you have? Because if you talked about that, I missed it because I quickly went to the loop.
She's got like in the high teens.
19.
Oh yeah, then do it.
Yeah, you'll be fine. It's only like 3 to do. Go on.
As long as you got more than 8, do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so my tier 2 limit break. It's been a while since I used it.
Yeah, well, the way it works is you make 3 consecutive attack rolls against the entire enemy group, inflicting damage on each one you hit with, equal to your normal damage with plus 4 damage steps.
Plus 4.
To your damage step. So if you're so what's your current power?
My current power.
Is 10, right? With your new armor?
Yes.
Right. So then it would go from 10 times 3 to 10 times 7.
And
Ooh.
if all of her rolls hit, that's 3 consecutive attacks with that damage.
Ouch.
Dealing 70 plus 2d6 damage each.
Oh,
God.
that's
I
going
can
to cut
kind of-
down the size.
And isn't
I'm
her
so
accuracy
sorry,
like
sir.
7?
And I get to attack 4 times?
3 times. 3 times. 3
Three times.
consecutive attack
3
rolls at
times?
once.
3 times.
So 2d6 plus 70.
2d6 plus your accuracy first. You have to roll to see if they hit.
You have to roll to see if those attacks hit.
The
Considering
downside
she's-
of having multiple attacks is that there's a chance they can miss.
I mean, her accuracy is 7, isn't it?
8.
Good
8.
sir. Oh, good sir. Cover up your junk. It's about to get painful.
Literally, the only way she can miss this guy is if one of them critical fails.
Emergency! Rocket
Oh!
is coming in for the attack. Assume the position.
I love it.
All right, so
That's
one
one.
hit, roll another.
Oh, I
One
have to roll
actually.
into again?
Yep, roll,
But you gotta
roll
roll
another
it.
attack. You gotta roll 3 attack rolls. Accuracy checks.
Oh.
Men, women,
3
and
accuracy
children,
rolls,
cover
okay.
your eyes.
Because you're basically attacking him 3 times.
Holy shit. Wall. 18. And next. 17.
2 owies.
2 hits.
Ow. And the
One
last
more.
wall. Holy shit. What is it going to be? 16 next?
Watch the next one's get crit.
I wish.
3
50.
owies.
That was
All right,
close.
so that is 3 hits.
Ow.
So,
Rocket's a fucking badass.
so yeah. So for the sake of this, go ahead and roll 6d6 plus 210.
66.
Yeah.
6d6 plus 210. Oh my god.
Vanatos, you could learn from her.
It's a limit break, and it's your 2-1 at that.
There. I know you.
Her limit break is the best. After 60 sessions, though, his will be up there too.
235 in total.
So, how badly is he never having kids again?
Yeah. What happens is Rocket kind of steps up a little bit, fans out her wings, and you see her rocket boosters underneath him suddenly flare with intense light as flames go bursting out. Off to her sides, it's like great big phoenix wings with how the flames are licking around and writhing and flaring. Y'all kind of have to look away for a sec to not be blinded, and with a loud, agonized shriek, because this hurts like hell, Rocket flaps her wings once, again, and 3 times total, each one sending the flames forward in a giant wave. And Kelion sees it comes like, oh shit, lifts up his weapon, and the first one blasts him back into this training dummy. Then he lands the second one, blasts him through the training dummy, scattering it into dust and against a far wall. And then the third and final one slams him even harder into the wall, putting a gigantic spiderweb crack pattern into it. Before he finally stops getting fucked and slumps a bit like, ow!
As awesome as that was, Rocket, remember we're trying not to break his spine?
Shit!
Jesus.
Sir, I am so sorry. Are you okay, man?
I'm trying to kill you. Wait till the battle's over to inquire about my health. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Forgive him. He has this bad habit of being too nice.
So how many destiny did that cost?
3.
3.
Okay.
You still got
Yeah.
In other words, not even a bloody dent in your ultimate destiny point limit.
Rocket is OP. Please nerf.
No, don't
No.
know. I like her as she is.
Remember, the weakness to that attack is she can sometimes miss with it, so.
I know,
No.
but still.
No,
Her
bad
accuracy
luck.
is the highest out of all of us.
Right, I'm going to put Mika right here.
Her accuracy is more than the freaking archer back there.
That just means she's
Thanatos, no.
very well.
Bad Thanatos. Bad.
What?
Bonk him on the head with my staff.
What did he
no
do?
nerf.
No nerf?
No nerf for
I
Rocket.
apparently
Bad.
made a joke. What the hell are you doing? Get back there.
Well, I can still move.
Alright.
I just- Stay back there like a good little healer.
And Mika is going to expend 7 MP to cast a normal cure spell on you, Thanatos.
No.
And of course, I did that out of character. Are you okay? A reference freezer from a bridge. Oh, I'm gonna miss those.
Alright,
Indeed.
so Thanatos is back to max HP.
Apparently.
Oh, nice.
But
That's it.
since I wasted the whole, I wasted my whole turn picking up the Rebellion's Edge, didn't I?
Yeah, so that is everyone, I do believe.
No.
Next time, check a fireball at him or something.
I am.
I am.
Alright, so Kelion is going to sort of roll his shoulders a bit as he's pulling himself off the wall, like, oh, I'm stiff. Ugh. And then he is
I mean,
going
he's only fractured his spine in 5 places. He'll be fine.
then he's going to kick off of the
Like a champ.
then he's going to kick off of the partially molten wall, launch himself at you, Rocket, and he is going to make an attack against you.
Oh,
You can't hit the bird. People have tried. The only way you can hit her is with a gun.
The bird is the word, and he's gonna go.
Does 13 hit you, Rocket?
My avoidance is 12, so.
Yep, he hit you.
Oh my god. He
Holy
hit the
shit!
bird.
What?
But
What is your armor?
Hang on.
20.
I say she's got armor. Ow.
57.
Well, she still
Not
takes
too bad.
She still takes 67 damage. So as Kelion comes flying in, you sort of brace yourself, and as Blake comes in, like, he puts a nasty little cut across your front, you take a step back.
And, alright, and that will be, his turn.
My turn. I am mad.
That was meant to be Dia.
No! Bad Bad Alistair. Stop trying to be a DPS. You're not DPS. No. Oh my god.
Actually, I just realized I totally forgot to include the increased damage steps for Rocket for her 3 attacks.
Fuck.
So I'm going to go ahead and subtract another 30 health from Kelion to accommodate for that.
Oh yeah.
Hang on,
I forgot
my
about
accuracy
that.
is increased.
No.
Oh wait, the accuracy.
So the accuracy buff I think is faded at this point.
Yeah, the accuracy buff is gone, but what the increase in our damage is. Thank you for reminding me. I was about to roll wrong.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right.
What spell is that?
What is that?
Dia.
Ah. Okay.
No one else needs the healing yet, so yeah.
Rocket just got a giant cut on her. You.
She's good though. She's above. She's well.
Yeah, I'm not wasting my fucking cure on minor.
I've got minor heals. I've got like 2 minor heal bottles.
I swear to God. just do it. Do it.
If you want the healing, just jug, bitch.
I already subtracted the HP for Dia, so
Yeah.
I'm not hurting yet.
yeah, Rocket's
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna throw a dark side fireball on him now.
good. Okay, that's minus 56 HP from you.
Oh wait, shit. Shit, I forgot to
What?
add. Don't mind that. I forgot to add the extra damage step from dark side.
And don't forget the extra damage step from Alistair's limit break.
Cause I'm Mr. Darkside.
Beautiful.
88.
Oh.
That's 5 MP for the spell, and 25% of my HP. Eat this!
We both got double numbers. I got 33, you got 88. Yeah, he ain't gonna be in a happy place.
Plus, this is shadow damage, and he is human.
Indeed.
Mm.
So I believe.
So as you again burst with shadowy energy, lifting up your hand, it crackles and bursts and thrums, and you send out a pulse of darkness after Kelion slices across Rocket. He turns and you lifts his sword to try and block it. It like just molts around his sword. He's like, oh, and it hits him in the chest, and he like staggers back a bit. Ugh. Ugh. And that definitely did extra damage. The total came up to 127 points.
Dia beam.
Yeah, and you've already shot him with Dia. Yep. A pearl light comes up and kind of hits him in the shoulder.
All right.
Let's see.
You
here.
shoot him.
Moving into to get a better line, and I'm gonna attempt to shoot him.
Hit him.
I just hit him.
You just hit.
It's a good hit.
Finally, things are looking our way.
47.
All right. Yep. Which turns into 37 because of his armor. You kind of get him in the hip, and he quickly like yank the arrow out and chuck it aside. Let's see here. Rocket, what are you doing this round?
I guess I could attack again.
Okay. Accuracy check, please.
Okay.
Kick him.
He's gonna need his balls, guys.
Yeah.
100% hit him in the balls.
Hit him in the chest, at least. Make him a
This is
bit
Sparta.
That definitely hits. Roll damage.
Sparta.
Yeah, and remember, and don't forget your increase from Alistair, so 40 plus 2d6 instead of 30.
Mm. Nice. So add the bonus to that. Or just roll another one. It's the exact same.
Alright, 40 damage. The way this works is Rocket, as he's staggering back from Thanatos' dark spell and Neothil's Blasto's arrow, you capitalize on his stagger to charge forward at him and sort of jump up with a flap of your wings to kick him in the face. He goes to like slice out at your ankles, and with a quick little, like a graceful little motion, you actually land behind him and kick him in the back, making him stagger forward towards the rest of the group.
You've already taken your actions, Alistair. You're stuck where you were.
Oh, I couldn't move then. I didn't move at all. So I thought, I just move in front of Thanatos. Just try to shield him.
Well, that doesn't work.
Don't worry, I got your front.
That doesn't work because you're not the one. He's not the one you're covering.
Let's see. And then Mika, to wrap up the party's round, I am going to have her... I am going to go ahead and have her use X magic
Oh.
to cast 2 spells back to back.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
She is going
Isn't that a
to
limit
cast.
ability?
It is. She is going to cast Arrow and Blizzara.
Oh my goodness. Combo breaker.
That's minus 28 MP from her for this combo.
This is gonna hurt.
Indeed.
Mhm.
So first of all, it's your power times 5 for Blizzara. That will be
Time to have a wonderful day of Bizarre.
57 from Blizzara, and for Arrow, Arrow is power times 3. So then So then 7, 40, 10, total 87 damage.
Ooh.
So what winds up happening there is Mika sort of lifts up her sword, a giant spear of ice forms over it, and then with her other hand she sort of pulls up this big gale and chucks it forward, and it goes flying forward. Kelion looks up and it hits him, and he goes sort of flying back a few feet, kind of skids over here. Ugh! Ugh! And now it's his turn. He sort of stands up a bit, rights his shoulders a bit. I'm about done messing around. He points his sword at the rest of you again. And as a heads up, he is now going to have the capacity to counterattack.
Oh?
What?
Oh, fuck.
He's going to start making use of that ability that I forgot he had up until now.
That means that if there's a chance that if you attack him, he will just attack right back.
There's a 50% chance that if you attack him, he will attack back. Yes.
And that only works in melee, right?
Yes, only in melee.
Oh, good then.
But in the meantime, he is going to charge at you, Thanatos, identifying you as the largest threat.
Oh,
Giant, the bird that just freaking
he's had a range though.
threw 3 ways of fire at him isn't the biggest threat right now.
He has
No.
he has chosen to believe that she cannot do that more than once.
Well, I mean...
Howdy,
Come
neighbor.
on, I think you're hard enough.
That is 13 hit.
Well, duh. My
And,
avoidance is only 6.
right, and what is your armor again?
Wow.
20?
20. This is gonna hurt.
Fucking 6. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I actually
Yes,
rolled.
dark-
I actually rolled his accuracy wrong for that attack. His accuracy for that attack is supposed to be 9.
Oh,
It still hits anyway.
Yeah. All right, so he comes in and with a
60.
and as you're turning towards him, he comes in and with a quick slice gets you across the chest, and you stagger back a few feet. Ugh!
Yeah, Dark Knights aren't known for their avoidance.
All right, back to
I'm
everyone
gonna
else.
drag you. I drag his ass over here and heal him.
No, you ain't gonna drag my ass.
Just heal him.
Just use
I'm
cure.
going down there.
I don't need to be right next to you for you to heal me, dumbass.
Well, if you want to go for another round, be my guest. I ain't gonna stop you.
Glad we have your permission, Alistair.
God damn it. Alright, is it our turn yet?
It is the party's turn. Yes.
Okay, let's see what I can do.
Also, I believe
35,
Yep,
right back at you.
Yep, Alistair just gave you back 35 hit points. You're up to
Lovely.
146.
Let me double check my abilities.
I would have healed Rocket, but Thanatos happened. So, Rocket, what'd you be doing after this lot?
Ew.
Oh, I forgot my mic was muted. Can I get close enough to attack?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. The maths checks out.
Alrighty.
Fudge nuggets.
Is Rocket attacking?
The attack of the rocket.
What?
Oh.
Okay, I think didn't type that right.
What's with the E?
That was an accident. I needed to reroll that.
Okay.
2 ed 6 plus 8. I
Equals 2.
didn't realize there were 3 more eds in the Ed, and Eddie bunch.
Ed, and Eddie.
Well, she hits.
Well, of course she is.
Yep, 14 hits.
That's funny.
Slash
As usual, she needed critical fails. I
Indeed.
miss.
Also, on a 1, he will counterattack. On a 2, he will not.
Send in the bird.
So he does
He
get
will
his counterattack, but first, Rocket, roll your damage.
Okay. Is it
Oh,
still that
boy.
additional step?
Yeah, you get that until the end of the day.
Okay.
So 40 plus 2d6. $52 damage. Nice. For 42 once you take his armor into consideration.
Max damage.
Indeed.
Rocket is on fire.
Yep, so you come up to him, lift up.
Literally.
You come up, you lift up your beak, and you peck him in the shoulders like, "Ugh!" And then he turns and cuts right back out at you. So I need to now make his attack roll. So let's see. That will be using his very high damage attack here. That's a 14 to hit.
Damn.
That's 52 damage Rocket takes.
Okay.
After you peck him hard in the shoulder, he turns and gives you another nasty slice across the chest, resulting in this X pattern that's seeping blood into your feathers.
At least it's not a Z.
All right, who's going next?
I'm gonna shoot him.
All right.
You will attempt to shoot him.
I'll tend to
You
shoot
will
him.
shoot it
Okay.
too.
I do not. I just missed.
Arrow
Shit.
sort of, he sort of sees it coming, and as he's coming out of a slice across the rocket, turns and knocks your bolt out of the way.
Mika, you're up.
Mika is going to, I'm going to have her expend 20 MP for Cura, targeted on the whole group.
Oh.
I mean, the only ones who are hurt are me and Rocket.
She's healing everyone she can at once.
Okay.
That will be,
Super heal. Oh, I'm fully charged.
so that will be 30 HP back to Thanatos. And 30 HP back to Rocket.
Yay! I love the heals.
Alrighty, and that is Mika. Does Thanatos have anything else he needs to do this turn?
Yes, Thanatos needs to make an attack. Now let's see here.
Yeah.
Hang on. Looking at an ability.
You called my name, and I am standing by.
I shall activate Night Sword. While he's not at long range, I do get the other properties from this attack.
Okay.
First, I must make an attack roll. Most likely will not hit him, but I wish to try.
Go, go, go. Oh, you got him.
That hit?
Oh, I hit him!
Yeah, you did? Okay.
Okay. Time for damage. And...
Almost a crit as well. Damn.
Ooh. Actually, hold on. What's that roll? Mr. Tone, Almighty DM.
Yes.
The Night Sword grants me the lucky property.
Okay.
And I believe with lucky, even if the roll is a 11, it still counts as a crit.
Let me find it really quick.
Huh?
Lucky.
Is he a lucky bugger?
Yep. That is how that works.
So that's a crit.
All right, so then double your damage roll.
Also, the Night Sword also has HP drain and the zombie property is along with it.
All right.
Which you're gonna
So,
probably go for a
first things
drain.
first, I must
Well,
roll.
I did not mean to accidentally give him back all of his HP. Hold on a second.
What? Yeah, don't do that.
Oops, yeah, that
Whoopsie
that
doodles.
was my mistake. My bad.
Freaking DM trying to sabotage us.
No, it was an accident.
Well, I
Okay.
can't even see his HP anyway.
Well, that's kind of the point. He's a boss. Unlike others, where we can just have rockets scan him, it didn't work on these
All right,
guys.
so that's doubled, right?
That's double to 82.
Alrighty. So it becomes 72 thanks to his armor.
And since it was doubled, does that mean I also get back the doubled damage, or do I just get back the regular?
You get back the damage you dealt.
So basically,
so
yeah,
that's
you
82.
can-
That's 82 back to me then.
It says HP drain is the thing you get on that, right?
Indeed.
And you get back half of the damage you dealt. So you get
Oh,
back
okay.
41.
Yay!
I will apply that right now. You're up to 217. And don't you
Look,
also
guys,
get
I did,
to
I did a good.
And don't you also apply status ailments with a opposed check?
No, it just says, hold on, let me find it again. It says, my next attack gains the HP drain, lucky, and zombie touch weapon properties.
Yeah, zombie touch. That's what I was thinking about.
Zombie touch.
Let me find. So that'll be a form of status touch. Let me find status touch.
It's the status touch.
Okay, status touch. You can attempt to add the specified negative status condition to the target on a successful weapon attack by choosing to deal 50% damage or by using a consumable item on an unwilling target. The foe must make an opposed force or finesse check. If you win, the status condition is applied to the target for the standard 4 rounds. So, do you want to attempt to apply zombie, or are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, since that was in melee range, he gets to attempt a counterattack.
Thought so.
That's fine. I got my health back anyway. So if he wants to go at me, come at me.
He does
Well, you
not. He
also
does not.
losing.
He does not get to counterattack this turn. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
Come at me, bro. No. Okay.
Okay. So,
Look, me, I did a good.
yep. So you kind of, the rest of you watch as Thanatos lifts up the vermilion edge. Dark energy swirl around it, and for a moment, it suddenly flickers from looking, like the weapon he picked up off of Saran's corpse, to looking like a huge fuck-off greatsword. He brings it down with a great cleave. The air ripples around it. Kelion tries to lift up his weapon and tries to block it, but a lot of shadowy energies rip past the two blades hitting together and gouge into him. Some blood flies free, and he skids back a few feet. Ugh! You lot are full of surprises.
Indeed.
All right, is that everyone's turn?
That is everybody.
All
So
right.
how fucked up is he looking?
He's definitely he's in his last quarter of HP. I will say that.
I knew it. He's definitely under a half.
Yeah, well under. He's in his.
I think Rocket's limit break did most of it.
Yep.
Hang in there,
Well
Nigo
done.
Montoya.
Let's see. Well, for that for that remark, he's attacking Rocket next.
Oh,
My
fuck
name is
no.
Montoya. You killed my father.
Better die.
I feel like that's gonna be a thing when I go against Jakal.
16 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Cole, you killed my father and my
Does
mother.
it ignore
I've got my
armor?
house down.
This
Let's
attack
die.
does not ignore armor. No, so it's 56 total.
Okay.
I already accounted for your. So,
Oh.
so as you're kind of as you watch him coming back out of that stagger, he's sort of noticing you right there and kind of quickly brings his blade down. You look up and it kind of cuts across your face and into your beak a little bit. It's a very weird feeling as he pulls his blade back because you can actually feel the cold air of outside hitting against your tongue with your
Ouch.
beak closed. It's a very odd and very uncomfortable feeling, and you don't like it, and you wish it would stop. And ow!
Ow.
All right, back to the party.
Rocket, first aid here. Shite.
That's 20 HP back to Rocket.
Rocket, first aid.
Shite.
Shite. That's Alistair.
That's Alistair.
Oh, Alistair. Do, 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 do.
Do.
I tried.
All right. All right. So, what's everyone doing?
Me.
All right. I'll take that as a hint of shoot him, please.
I mean, that's usually how it works. You shoot him, and then the rest of us go.
Finish him. I did all my heals.
Hit him that time.
That just hits. Yeah, well, damage.
I'm kind of ticked.
Oh, yeah.
Because I upgraded my armor for this.
Well, he's hardly the final boss. I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to throw you at Chakol later.
All right, so it's 38 damage total. You get him in the side of the knee, and he drops down. Ugh. All right, who's next?
My turn.
They're all good in battle until they take an arrow to the knee.
Indeed.
Oh, goodness.
Until you take an arrow from the knee.
I recently learned where that joke comes from.
It's from.
What,
You
the
didn't
originals?
know it was from Skyrim?
No,
Yeah, it's
no,
from
I know it's from Skyrim, but I know like the origins past it come from Skyrim.
Huh.
Essentially, it was a thing that happened like back during all those really oldie timey days. Doctors would hire mercenaries on the road to like break travelers' knees, so they'd have to go to the doctors, and they would charge them per fragment removed from the broken knee.
Oh,
Those times were brutal.
That's where that reference to Skyrim came from. Essentially, the whole thing was that guard was a victim of one of those schemes.
oh.
Yeah,
Quite
so
so.
it wasn't the sex thing.
Quite so.
What?
I'm going to throw an orb of dark magic at him now.
Okay, so
You're
dark-
welcome
so-
for me
So,
killing the humor of that joke forever.
so that's
Thank
dark
you.
side, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, minus 56.
For some reason, a lot of people thought that it meant your wife got a baby,
88.
and now you're stuck.
Jesus Christ.
Woo!
That is
And
another
that's shadow
100.
damage.
That's another 120.
Another 88.
And how bad is he looking?
He's on his last legs. That blast strikes against him. Urgh.
Well, Rocket or Meek is going to finish him then.
Mika has no MP, and so
So it'll be Rocket. Oh, goodness. The one who did most damage is going to freaking get in
I
there.
wanted to finish him.
There. You're going to get the big bad man. You're going to be happy.
You'll get Chakol, because the whole reason we're here.
Okay.
You're
And
not
then
gonna
afterwards.
well, everyone's encouraging Rocket to attack.
Rocket. If she can't do it, no one can.
And with all this shit that Rocket's done to him this round, I feel like we're bullying him with our bird.
Fight me, bird. Win.
I mean, I get the whole thing, but it still says rolling the dice.
There
Yeah,
we
it does that now.
Yeah.
17 to
There we
hit. Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead and roll
he's
damage.
Throw your best at me. Okay, let me introduce you to our bird.
Let me introduce you to our bird.
The bird is the word, and we win.
All right, so here's what happens. Rocket, as he's sort of there on the ground, reeling from the bolt of darkness and the arrow in his knee and just all of the hell you've all been giving him, he's like lifting up his sword and like preparing to make one last swing, and you're like, meh-eh. You reach down, grab him in your beak by the scruff of the neck, sort of, by the collar of his shirt, lift him up, throw your head back and forth a few times, and then just chuck him at Thanatos, who you gather just a bit more darkness in your fist and just punch him in the face as he's flying by, and he lands unconscious back there.